yet. Oh, this is insanity.
All right, we are back. It's tied up 1-1. Make some damn noise for this uplink.
See a lot of OpTic fans in the crowd today. I usually see that here at CWL events, but Gosu Crew has turned a lot of people onto their team, man.
This is fun, man, because it's just, again, I love the David and Goliath scenario. You heard, again, Scump just expecting to be in the LAN League. These guys fighting for their LAN League life. It's so fun to be a part of. I hope you guys are enjoying day 2 of CWL Dallas, presented by the PlayStation 4. I know for Mr. X and I, we're having a blast.
Again, it's, you kind of look at this Gosu Crew team, and it reminds you a little bit of like E-United from Atlanta. You kind of said they were the underdogs coming in. Obviously not as much fanfare, leading up to this event in the online tournaments for this Gosu Crew team, but still, playing these good teams tough, taking some respawn games you don't expect them to. Going into game 3, Gosu Crew's going to come out pretty strong.
They are. Now, Uplink, I hate saying this, but if you picked a game mode for OpTic that wasn't their strongest, it's that. They've been so good in Hardpoint and Search and Destroy. That's the only one that's not quite on par, but still very, very good. But this is, I think, if you're going to steal another one, it's got to be here at the Hardpoint, right? If you're going to win, if you're Gosu Crew, it's 3-1.
Yeah, I think Uplink is probably the easiest game to kind of control the pace of the game, obviously, because you can only score to crew points with the drone in your hand. So if you can just take the drone, slow the pace of the game down, force them to come to you, then maybe you can make some nice things happen.
And you hear the term kind of kill whore used sometimes. People focus a little bit too much on slaying, not playing together. This is a mode where, speaking with OpTic, the teams that are able to play a little bit less selfish, that play kind of behind each other, willing to get the drone forward, not worry about slaying as much, just playing as a team, are the ones that seem to do well. That's why we saw some of the European teams doing well. And when I did that interview with Exotic, just hearing, they love playing together, they love this, I feel like that natural vibe is going to work out all right for them here.
Yeah, it's just got to be objective by committee. I mean, whoever's closest to the drone needs to go get control of it. You need to bring it back to the rest of your squad and set up those pushes. It can't just be one dedicated guy, because then you'll never see the drone get picked up. That guy gets killed off spawn. Everybody's out of position. You're never going to put points on the board.
All right, prediction though. You're going to have to do it. Who's taking this uplink? Matthew, Mr. X Morello.
I think you'd kind of be crazy to pick against OpTic Gaming going into game 3.
That's fair.
Obviously, a really experienced team here on the main stage. I know that's their first map loss in the game 1. You don't throw all of that out the window. I think OpTic Gaming probably takes this game 3.
So a question for you about the other side then with the Gosu Crew. You got to feel like the tension, the pressure starts to build on your team a little bit maybe as the series goes on longer, but they were able to close the door on Envy. Is it different now against OpTic when you know you could possibly take first in the group?
Yeah, I don't think there's as much pressure on Gosu Crew in this matchup, to be honest. I think all the pressure, if you were one of the players, is in that last match against Envy. That is the one that you needed to get out of pool play. This one is just for, obviously, seeding and whatnot. It would be a great momentum booster to beat OpTic, but are they going to, crush themselves over losing this match? I don't think so.
Well, for new viewers at home maybe, or some not as familiar with Uplink on Precinct, talk to me about some of the basics of this map, kind of what makes it tick, why do teams succeed?
Yeah, so you see a lot of scores from mostly one side of the map. You're going to see the drone be picked up and be brought towards that top side of your mini-map. You can get to that top ticket area, spawn teams in that back alley over by the gas station. That's when you could put a lot of points on the board. We have seen those since the Uplink portals have been adjusted. The other side, the construction side of the map, we do see some more scores coming on that side of the map now.
Yeah, it seemed to come a little bit more balanced. We've seen teams be stronger on one side than they are on another, but it can be very streaky in the sense that you can see a team rip off 8 points, be up 8-0, and as soon as sides flop, all of a sudden you see a team start roaring back. So no lead seems comfortable at times on this particular map, but it's all about possession and uplink. Control the drone. By doing that, you control the game.
Yeah, and you get spawn trapped in that back alley, the other team is going to punish you. You're going to see at least 3-4 potential points go on the board there. So I do think if you're the Gosu Crew roster and you get spawn trap back there, you need to just kind of stabilize, figure out where you're going to push as a team and get out of that trap as soon as possible.
Well, going into Uplink, let's take a look at some of the KDs here in Uplink. You see highlighted Formal and Mox, a 1.46 and a 1.27. Top 4, what else can you say? These guys have been insane all tournament long.
Those are the two guys we highlighted in the Hardpoint they're leading their team in respawn KDs. It's going to be a battle of those two players, and I think if Mox can just take Formal back down to even where we saw in Game 1, that's where Gosu Crew can potentially steal this Game 3.
Yeah, and it was, again, Scump and Formal both not having kind of their typical games in Game 1. As this series grows on, it's late in the day, first match, maybe they start to play a little bit stronger here. If they come alive, you start to worry, but if TGC can keep Formal under lock, they've got a very good chance to win this. And from what we've seen from Mox, he's that young up-and-comer, like a guy that we know is going to be on the top. So Formal has his hands full right now.
Yeah, there have not been many AR players who have challenged Formal this year consistently. And I mean, that first Hardpoint, you saw Mox do a pretty good job of it, the best we've probably seen thus far. And you see the results. Gosu Crew wins that first Hardpoint. So I think that's really the battle you're going to have to hone in on and watch during this one. It's going to be Mox versus Formal.
Oh, God. I mean, I'm excited to get this one started. But we've still got action remaining tonight. I mean, you got to think we're going to start. We've seen a couple teams start to get locked in, right? For stage 1, you see teams start to get qualified as it goes on, but the closer and closer we get to bracket play, that's when it becomes kind of do or die, especially for teams in the losers bracket, where it's going to be like, if they get to round 6, they're going to be in it. It's going to be insane to see how that plays out.
Yeah, that loser bracket's going to be nuts, and you're going to be looking at the teams down there like Evil Geniuses, Panda, and teams like Epsilon in Europe who are still fighting with teams like iGame to see who gets that.
Oh no, I think Epsilon got it right before we went live. I believe I saw Epsilon, due to iGame losing, are good. Now that was Twitter. As me looking at Twitter and seeing that come through, I think I saw Davey tweeting about it of Epsilon. So I believe that they're going to be good there, which is huge for Epsilon after they had that big throw earlier to STDX when they were up 5-1.
Yeah, that was a brutal game to watch Epsilon lose. But you have Gosu Crew going through pool play, out of open bracket, into the winner's side, and you have all the teams that are currently in front of them, the ones that they're chasing, Panda down in loser bracket, Evil Geniuses right behind them, down in loser bracket. This is their opportunity to get into the Global Pro League. They have to seize this opportunity, Maeve.
It really is. Well, let's talk a little bit more general about the event. I want to know who you think have been let's say the top 3 teams you've seen this weekend. Who's really stood out? Like, if you had to pick kind of your top 3 finishers after day 1 and half of day 2, who are you thinking about?
I think you got to obviously see OpTic Gaming. You put them in the mix. I would put Splice right there.
I'm with you there.
Splice has exceeded expectations as the best team in Europe. I think they've come in and been lights out. And then I think you'd have to say FaZe. FaZe has been very impressive as well.
I think that'd be my top 3 so far as well. Now, focusing back to this series a little bit with TGC, what do you think is maybe the limit for these guys? You've seen them play NV tough. You see them now playing OpTic tough as well. I mean, is this something where they could surge into a top 6 finish?
I think they definitely can. I mean, you see the difference between OpTic and a lot of the other teams, and this is a team that we've seen them. They're playing them tough in this matchup, so why would you doubt them in a match against anybody else?
Well, we're in the rig draft and getting ready to load on up. We see a lot of the players starting to finally use Power Slide, a recent update there. You'll used to see in the rig draft one spot not selected, but it now coming into play, giving you a bit of that reduction in your meter. But as we get loaded up, Matt, tied up 1-1 in our best of 5 Gosu Crew, OpTic Gaming, it's pre-synced Uplink. This is going to be a doozy.
And you're going to be looking to see which players on either side are going to be running Camo. Camo is the ability that you can make game-changing plays in Uplink. Every time you see an active Camo player with the drone near the opposing team's portal, you need to use that ability, put in 2 points.
Players now loading in the Game 3 swing game here. Who will come out on top? We're kicking it off with OpTic Gaming Scump.
And OpTic starting things out on that preferred side we were talking about. So look to see them get control of that top side of the minimap and go all the way through and spawn Gosu Crew in that back alley.
Oh, they get a couple kills early, and that is going to bring an opening here for them. Goes Karma and Formal get shut down. Yes, they get pushed forward. It's 3 kills coming through. All you've got to work with is the drone and just Crim6, and like that, everybody from OpTic Gaming is dropped, and we're basically going to have a reset here at Statue.
It's a good initial defense there from Gosu Crew. It looked like OpTic, after they pick up a few kills at the beginning, was going to try and push that one through that top ticket area for some points. They're just not able to pick up the kills after that, and it's 3 kills for Gosu Crew. This is where they need to get up points on the board here early, Maeve.
Karma at least finds one there. Maybe it delays it for a moment, but the Flood is coming forward. They have to find the kills in the base. They're shutting it down. Was the interception there? No, it's actually the dunk that comes through. TGC on the board first.
I have no idea how they got that two-point play through. I mean, you saw the guy in front. He's able to pick up one kill, and there's 2 more players in the base for OpTic. I don't know if, maybe there was a miscommunication there. Somebody thought they were going to focus the drone carrier, and the other person was going to pick up that kill. It seems like both players started firing at that initial player, not the drone carrier.
You know when you have those plays like the 1 yard line in the NFL, like all the linemen are pushing the quarterback in to try and get through? I felt like that's what it looked like. They were like, throw bodies at it. It's getting through. But Crim6 doing some filthy stuff here outside Ticket, opening the path for his teammate. Karma trying to get in. It's Crim paving the way. He's got him locked back alley, and this is going to be a dunk for sure. And now a lot of potential to do a ton of damage here, buddy.
Yeah, and pay attention to that left side of your minimap. That is where Gosu crew is spawning, in that back alley, exactly where they do not want to be. They get into that middle street, and they start to wrap back up towards the top. So a good rotation out of that spawn, but it's going to be another 2-point play for OpTic Gaming out of that.
And that's exactly how you get it done. If you get control of that spawn, with the first dunk, you're basically guaranteeing yourself another dunk. They do it. They don't get to hold control any longer. I mean, we've seen much bigger rallies than that. But still, solid set of plays there from OpTic Gaming. And now it's the counterattack opportunity here for Gosu crew.
And Prisa picks up an initial kill, and then everybody starts to fall for Gosu crew. They get a 1-point throw off. It does not go in. OpTic Gaming has the drone right underneath their portal. They either wait to get a reset or start moving it up the map. They're going to go back, pick the drone up, and now move it topside.
And you'll have Crim6 mid-map, so they have an opportunity for a bit of a pinch attack. He stops shooting and gets gunned by Exotic, a kill that he certainly should have found. As Scump drops on the opposite side of the map, Karma as well. It's all on formal, and that's the way that OpTic Gaming slaughtered as Gosu crew continues to apply pressure. The question is, can they get more points on the board? There goes the 1 point. It's in. They're only trailing by 1, Matt.
Yeah, they did have Prisa in position coming on a flank. Maybe could have gotten 2 points there, but you do see they're going to wrap the drone back, have Prisa set up right underneath the portal. He needed to stay alive there, Maven. You saw Moxie actually tried to pass it to him. As soon as he falls, the pass does not go through. That should have been points there for Gosu crew.
They don't get the points, but they're still here. Drama. He had to find one more to get it done. They've now all been cleared out, and it's formal, paving the way now with drone in hand, just tossing that forward, looking for kills here at mid-map. It's going to be repositioning for Gosu crew as they set up around gas station and mid-street to lock down any kind of push out of Cherry Blossom. The first 2 kills come in. One's a team kill from Drama with a nade. That's interesting stuff. That may open things completely for OpTic, but Mox and Drama, the 2 left, picking up plays here mid-map.
Yeah, but the pass going to come in. OpTic Gaming going to settle for a 1-point throw there. It's a big turn of events there, Maven. Gosu crew on offense had a chance to complete a pass. Prisa gets taken out before the pass goes through. OpTic Gaming picks up the drone, gets a 1-point play on the other end.
Doesn't this remind you just a little bit of what we saw in game 1, the sense that it was an OpTic lead early, and it was Gosu crew just hanging tough, and then they erupted at the end of the game. They're at a spot to make a play, but it's Karma with the 2-piece at home, and Crim now is pushed forward into the base. They're going to be spawning out. It looks like backside statue, actually. A bit of a split spawn here. I don't think Crim's going to be ready for this at all. The 1-pointer looks off left. It's going to be short as well. Is anyone there to find the points and pass it forward? And Crim has got it. Dunk in. 7 on the board, and Scumpy still in the base, wreaking havoc.
Yeah, it looks like a missed throw there, but it's actually a manual pass coming in from Karma. Just out of reach from Crim. Scump picks up a big 2-piece there, and the assault is keeping on coming from OpTic Gaming. They're going to be able to get the drone here in the middle of the map. They do have Gosu crew spawning up on the top side. Let's see if they try and put some more points on the board here with only 20 seconds left.
Find an opening kill, and you've got a chance to get off a Hail Mary. That's actually 2 kills. No, but there's the third. Only 1 on defense. Going to be Mox. They have to find a mid-map, and this could actually be 2. They're going through with the dunk. 5 seconds left, and OpTic 6 points ahead.
This is not the start that Gosu crew needed. They're going to find themselves down 9-3 going into the half.
But playing from that side, I mean, if I had to pick, I know it's gotten to be a bit more 50-50, but I certainly would prefer pushing towards the mid-street back ticket to get points. You know, on the side OpTic Gaming had from side 1, the question is, can TGC take advantage of them the way that OpTic Gaming did?
Yeah, I mean, 6 points is a lot for a team to just kind of come out and get here on the second side. OpTic Gaming obviously can get drone, stall a little bit. We'll see how the opening break plays off. OpTic going to play this a little bit more passive, not going to send players to drone right away. So they're going to try and play a little bit more defensive, don't want to give up their base.
Formal first one to drop. Trades going back and forth. Throne going to be in the hands of Gosu crew as they're trying to apply pressure to mid-tarps, also to Ticket. The first kill comes in. There's one playing defense back Ticket. Will they see him in the corner? The timing actually works out okay as Karma soars out. Karma actually makes the play. A sick two-piece, but Priest is still there. He has the drone and Ticket. Can he find the angle, get off? Is the interception home? No! 1 point on the board for TGC.
That's actually great. First 30 seconds, you can get points on the board, put the pressure back on OpTic. Now, TGC just needs to hold on to the defensive end. Here comes OpTic's push, statue side.
They've got set up at statue, Matt. They're trying to build forward here. What did you like, though, about OpTic from the first side? What did they do so well that TGC now needs to replicate to get points on the board?
Oh, I mean, once they had them spawn trapped in that back alley, they just did not let up. I mean, they just kept their foot on the gas. They were able to just rally in points after point. You definitely like what you saw from OpTic Gaming when they had him in that spawn trap.
One of the best in the business at doing it. Krem and Formal now picking up a couple of kills. Drone was in the hands of OpTic as they're now looking to make a play. The spawner's coming in, but Scump's already in a poor position to find the kills. It's Mox, though, with 2. Shuts it down as the interception there. No, that barely sneaks in. But you're now into double digits for OpTic Gaming.
You do have Gosu crew with control of drone. We'll see what they decide to do with it. It looks like they're going to wrap this one all the way through by Cherry Blossoms. They're going to have to pick up some big kills in the middle of the street here if they're going to get the drone even close to getting into 1-point throw position.
And everybody gets shut down. It's how many two-pieces has Karma had in key positions, whether it's mid-map to slow down a push, on defense to halt a push. Now he's got drone in hand trying to make a play, just spotting right now with that extra armor. Gonna go ahead and reset as he waits for a little bit of help, and now it's go time. He gets the call, wraps the edge, there's the dunk, and the beatdown through the uplink.
It's a huge play there from Karma. A lot of the things that he does, Clint, just do not show up in the stat sheet. A lot of the things we talk about, Katie and whatnot, Karma's not going to blow anybody away with that, but just the situational plays that he makes is why players rate him, one of the highest in the league.
Absolutely, but let's swap over to Formal for a moment because he's on a 6th streak now at 19 and 13. As soon as you call for it, you see he ends up dropping, but he's started to erupt a bit. Everybody for OpTic Gaming sitting positive right now. The gunfights just seemingly going their way as the pressure continues to mount. It just seems like they've been pushing this statue side over and over again, and now it's a camo play. Dunking, diving rapidly at the body block. Maybe is there, but no, the dunk is in. 14-4.
We talk about it when you use active camo, you need to put points on the board. I thought for a second there he was not going to have enough boost to put it in. He didn't, but he lands right underneath one of the players on Gosu crew. Very difficult shot to hit, looking straight down. Karma's able to put in a 2-point play.
I couldn't tell if he got body blocked there to push him down or if he just ran out of juice a little bit at the edge. Regardless, he gets it in, and Krim still has overdrive. He's had some sick plays with overdrive, especially on this map. Some game-changing last-second dunks, but this just looks to be too much for Gosu crew, man. The drone has been entirely in the hands of OpTic.
I was actually just going to say that in the second half here, you have seen Gosu crew only have the drone pretty much in their own base, just trying to get it out. It has been controlled from OpTic Gaming from the beginning. A 1-point throw there from Formal.
And I think that was Karma. They got 2 players to kind of turn around and focus him as the 1-pointer is going in. OpTic may have started slow, but they have surely come alive. You've got a last-ditch effort here from Exotic with the camo. The toss goes right into the belly of Karma with yet another clutch play at home on defense.
And you just see the potential this OpTic Gaming team has to just turn it on and just blow teams away. I mean, this one has not been close from start to finish. OpTic Gaming dominating game number 3, making a statement here against Gosu crew.
Sometimes you wonder, with a team, when you've had 23 wins in a row and you finally get that loss, you've been streaking so hard, how do you recover from it? But when you're a team like OpTic that's played together for so long, I mean, the answer is either they brush it off or they get pissed and they come and pound you. I think you've got a bit of a mix of both here.
You got to be angry. I mean, if you're OpTic Gaming, you come into this series, Gosu crew, a fantastic team. You view yourself as the best in the world, bar none. You can't be dropping maps to teams you're supposed to beat. They had to be pretty pissed after dropping that first hardpoint.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you would have asked every player on OpTic Gaming what they thought the result of this series would be, every one of them would have said 3-0. And it would have been one of those delusionally confident answers for an interview. They just would have known this would be a 3-0. But TGC comes in, steals the game 1, and as a result, we still got ourselves a series, and Scump is apparently that man's father.
I believe that said actually Formal is that man's father.
Then they both have children.
Oh, well, that's news to us. So we go into game 4. Gosu crew, they win the first Hardpoint undefeated in Hardpoint, as we saw on that graphic. Now, OpTic Gaming, I don't think they're going to have this next one go like the first one did. I feel like they're going to bounce back.
Yeah, part of me wonders, it's just if that was more Gosu. Now, don't get me wrong, Gosu Crew's played them tough, but when you look at the game one, they're coming off really high vibes after beating Envy. They feel like the sky's the limit. They come in, they steal that game one. Has OpTic kind of sent them back to earth a little bit now?
Yeah, you have to feel great after beating Envy. You come in, the crowd is a little bit behind you after that series.
Yeah.
You have a lot of momentum. You're great in the game mode. You win that game one, got to feel great. Get blown out in game two. All right, we don't feel as great. You get destroyed in game three. Now you're just kind of, is this the end? That's probably what they're thinking right now. They got to show up, go clutch in game four.
You see, it's going to be Hardpoint on Throwback. That'll be coming up next. When I spoke with Formal about strong game modes, weak game modes, one he mentioned was Throwback Hardpoint. Several teams did. Sometimes you get the occasional spawn might not make sense to you here and there. They feel that it plays a little bit inconsistent for them. But overall in Hardpoint, they're a team that is lights out. You got to expect them to bring it.
Yeah, this is a map where a lot of crazy things can happen. Really fast, really frenetic. It is not one where you're going to rotate early, you're going to take a ton of time, lock down those long-range sightlines. It's one where this is going to be in-your-face, fast gameplay the entire time, and some teams just aren't great at it.
Yeah, it plays more like, I guess you would say, Hardpoint from last year, I think, or the year prior, where you're more full team soaring, not worrying as much like you said about the early rotation, getting set up, putting up those solid 40 to 50 points. There are going to be a lot more kills. We see multiple 40 bombs dropped here for Cloud9 in Lacefield in Assault. We saw 42 dropped by Formal just yesterday.
And it's interesting, just looking at this graphic, right? We talked about how OpTic's blown them away the previous two maps, in Uplink and on Search and Destroy. You almost forget that game one was a blowout in Gosu Crew's favor. I mean, that was not a close Hardpoint game. 250 to 139. Cannot count them out going into this Throwback Hardpoint, especially with how this map plays, Maven. Definitely got to give Gosu Crew a chance.
But you got to think in a kill-heavy game where it's going to be fast, it's going to be a lot of team fights, trading, soaring at each other. Your gut would tell you have to give the edge to OpTic Gaming. But again, you can't forget that game one. Breakout, one of the tougher hard points to play from a discipline standpoint. I think that's why it impresses me even more that that's the map they were able to take.
Yeah, and it's one that the North American players love. I mean, they spend a ton of time on Breakout Hardpoint, whether, obviously in scrims, and then in 8s, it's always a map that you see in the rotation. So for OpTic Gaming, I mean, they put in a ton of hours on that map. Same with Gosu Crew, obviously. For Gosu Crew to take it in that commanding fashion, it's very impressive.
Can Gosu Crew push this to a game 5, Matt?
Gut tells me no. They're undefeated in the game mode, but for some reason you feel like OpTic closes it out. It's very difficult to kind of make a comeback against a team like OpTic. Now, Gosu Crew was able to close out Envy in our previous series, but this is going to be difficult. I mean, OpTic Gaming's starting to heat up these last two maps.
And what a match we have. Like you said, a team undefeated in Hardpoint and a team that just lost their first map after 23 straight. This is going to be a battle of the Colossus here. Not on Crusher S&D, I assure you. We will be going to Hardpoint. We're mixing it up. We're changing the formula here randomly.
That would be great. That would be great for OpTic. Pretty good in Search.
Right. They definitely would. You feel really good about them closing it out.
That's definitely where the B-bomb site is.
Yes, it is. Wouldn't that be funny if all of a sudden they did load into that map? Like, oh, so surprise.
Yeah, no. I actually see the game. We are going into Throwback Hardpoint for game number 4 between the Gosu Crew and OpTic Gaming. The series 2-1 in favor of OpTic.
All right, kicking it off with Exotic. He was brilliant in the series against Envy. He's been strong here as well, but he needs one hell of a game. First gunfights all going the way of going the way of Gosu Crew. Only one player was left up for OpTic Gaming, so some time now coming in for Gosu Crew.
In Gosu Crew, they have the spawns for that barn hardpoint. That would be the next hardpoint in the rotation of hills. They need to control that because that is where you're going to get a ton of your time on.
Crim 6 now, Matt, is pushed into the opposition's window. Well, wow, I thought he was going to win that one, but that is what an ERAT can do to you. Sometimes first shot does not matter when an ERAT is at close range.
Yeah, this is one of the maps that the ERAT can be very effective. A lot of close sight lines, not going to be able to just post up in the back with the NV4, pick players off at range. A lot of these gun engagements are going to be medium to close range in this map.
And Mox gets the better of Karma before being traded out, but it's OpTic Gaming racking up the time. That's going to be 28-4 advantage on the first hardpoint, but you feel okay because Gosu Crew set up at barn.
Yeah, I mean, they're inside of the barn hardpoint. They pick up one wave of kills here at the beginning, and they're in good shape to make a lot of this time back.
Mox is able to get 2, but the rest of his teammates dying. It's Formal answering with a 2-piece of his own. Krim gets the break, and there you go. That's all it took. They're now spawning outside in the field, and he's already there. Formal goes on a tear. Started out, I think, 1 and 3. Goes big there with 4 in a row.
And it's interesting, both teams end up spawning out there, and Scump comes behind 2 players from Gosu Crew who are coming on the top side of the map. So he's going to pick up 2 more kills. It's going to give a lot of time to OpTic.
OpTic building on this lead. You still got 20 seconds left. They continue to flood in. But you've got control now for Gosu Crew as 2 kills come through, make it 3. They get another break. They might be able to get the final 10 seconds here. Scrap them, all right. I thought maybe they were going to give it up and rotate out, but you don't need to on this map, right? It's not as big of a deal to rotate out early and get set up. So taking another stab at a Hardpoint with 15 seconds left, you can do. You won't see that on Breakout really ever.
No, and especially with Bike Path next. Bike Path is one where it's very difficult to take a ton of time on as Formal catches a nade right in the face there from Mox. So you do see Gosu Crew, they're set up nicely for this Bike Path Hardpoint. They're very spread out though here, Maven, and Mox starting to heat up on a 5 streak, double positive. But Gosu Crew cannot give up these baseball spawns to OpTic Gaming, which they have done.
But Mox, you know, you said he needs to outplay Formal, and Mox having one hell of a game, and that's the reason it has been close so far, a big part of it. And remember, game 1, it was OpTic up early, them just hanging tough, but then eventually Gosu Crew erupted. But just as I say, Mox is hanging with Formal, you see him pick up another 3 in a row. He's been very streaky in this game. He's racking up some time to go with it.
And he just makes it look easy. Like, that is such a difficult play to make in the middle of the map, coming over, locating 2 players over the fence line and be able to take them out with ease. Man, he's just so good. Is Formal. Gets taken out there inside of the hardpoint by Mox, who's really kind of matching him in this game, Maeve. I mean, 11-9 for Formal. Mox on the other side of things, 14-9. It's really Drama and Brisa who need to start bringing it.
Yeah, they do. Combined for 10 and 21 right now. Karma, some 6 shots there over the top of the bus to pick him up mid-map. They're looking to break the 100-point mark here. They've got it locked down at baseball field. You can see several players spawning in field over by blue, and the pressure seems to be coming in. You can flood from this side and continue to bring in reinforcements. Now they've got to worry about bowling as they've got control. The push from this side will come in from OpTic Gaming. It's Priest opening things up first. Trying to answer back is Exotic. He's able to find the 2nd kill there. Oh! Karma may have been reloading. I don't know, looked a little bit awkward there, but still, that is a disgusting snap from Exotic.
Doesn't matter if he was weak to just be able to turn and snap on a player, find him in a split second, and take him out. Sick play there from Exotic. It's going to be OpTic Gaming giving up the remaining time here to Gosu Crew. Gosu Crew is going to opt not to take it, go try and set up in the middle of the map, but you have to commend how close Gosu Crew has played this OpTic Gaming team, and really, Drama and Priest have not started to get going yet.
Let's see if they can turn it around. Drama was finding a couple kills there mid-map. The streak you had for Exotic came to an end, but you're playing them tough. You're only trailing by 20. You've been undefeated in Hardpoint, and you're looking to keep that streak alive. This series has already been a story of ended streaks. Will this be another one that comes to a conclusion? Crim6 watching outside of Grandma, lines 1 up. Priest the 2nd up with the headshot coming in against Crim6.
You do have a pinch coming in on this center hardpoint, though, for Gosu Crew. It's going to be Scump, the only one alive. He gets taken out. And now it's going to be Gosu Crew taking the remaining time here. 15 seconds left on this hardpoint. And they have the barn locked down. So they had barn control initially, the first rotation, and they gave it up right away. If they hold it this time, they'll find themselves right back in this game.
Well, I was about to ask you, now that we've been through a full set of rotations here, what stood out for you the most? Is that kind of what stood out in your mind?
Yeah, that was the biggest thing in the first half of the game. OpTic Gaming able to break this barn hardpoint. Can they do it again? Gosu Crew gets over, gets early control first.
They've got the early control. Now we'll see it from their POV if they can hold. The answer seems to be no. Exotic's still here, but he will drop. Where the spawn's going to come in all the way across the map. OpTic Gaming again gets the break in barn. But can we switch over to Scump right now because he's 17-13 with a 4 streak. I want to see if he can keep this going.
He's been doing an excellent job just roaming around the hard points, picking kills up on the outside. Working closer and closer towards those streaks. They pick up one on Bike Path. They know exactly where the spawns are going to be coming in for Gosu Crew. Scump in a fabulous position here to pick up another.
Surprise! I'm in the corner. 19-13, 6 streak. He's 125 off the Trinity Rocket. He's a couple kills away from getting fully streaked out. And somebody's about to run right into his crosshair, but I think he's put a couple shots into a teammate.
Yeah, and he's going to back down. Very smart play here. Does not want to challenge the player up in that top window room. Wants to get into a better position to be able to pick up these streaks.
And there it is, 7 streak now, but still 25 off. Scump erupting with a massive game here. Wrapping the edge, he gets the points. There's the full streaks. Another one in the corner, and that's gonna be 9. 22 and 13 with the smile.
He has to know we're on him right now as well. I mean, he has just played so good. Currently on a 9 streak, trying to get into double digits here, fully streaked out. Does not matter now if OpTic Gaming gives up the baseball hardpoint spawns, because they'll just be able to streak the players on Gosu Crew out of the back and get control.
This is just nuts. Finally he drops, but you hear the OpTic chant starting in the back. They can feel it in the air. They think their team is gonna close it out, but trust me, if you watch that NV series, you can never count out TGC. They might be able to bring this one back, but currently trailing by 84 points, but they've got the rotation over to Statue, Matt. They can pick up a big chunk of time.
Well, here's where I think you're gonna see the streaks of Scump come into play. With Gosu Crew controlling this outside hard point, you're going to see a lot of players out in the open. Scump trying to drop down the training rocket. He's going to be able to get one. Let's see. He has 2 more streaks to use. It does not look like he's going to be able to use them here because they're going to flood the back and get control.
They've gotten into the back, and now the pressure going to be coming from the blue side. They can fly in as 4, but it's so tough to break when you've got 2 pre-aim players of OpTic Gaming looking at you. But the shots from Priest and Exotic at least get the opening. Karma's got camo and a swarm in front of him as he drops. It's another trade here, and Gosu Crew back in control for the final 20 seconds.
So they survive getting streaked out of the hard point. They only give up a few seconds to OpTic Gaming. They're very good hold here from Gosu Crew. They're picking up some more kills. Should be able to get back towards that center of the map. But you still have those 2 streaks on Scump, and you have this camo on Karma. OpTic Gaming has a lot of tools to work with here at the end of the game.
A ton of utility here to close the game out. The FTL jump loses him, throws a nade at himself, but Scump stays alive for the kill before finally dropping. Now you got a couple down on the side of Gosu Crew. Karma rolling through, but ultimately Priesta getting the better side. But now you're over the 220 mark. You're looking to close the game down if you're OpTic Gaming. So close from remaining undefeated.
And it's difficult for Gosu Crew. You want to play towards this center hardpoint, but you know Scump has these streaks, because look, if he streaks them out of this and then they push all the way through, they could flip the side of the map and get those preferred spawns for this next hardpoint.
And that is what they're looking to do now, Matt. Scump pushing through mid. He's got one below. He was tagged up. He was able to finish it. Formal actually has streaks of his own, and he's going to kill Scump. So the dynamic duo that didn't go off in the game 1 hard point have started destroying here. You've got 30 and 18 for Scump. Formal right behind him at 29 and 21. Everyone getting it done for OpTic, and as we rotate out, they're only needing 15 points in Barn to say sayonara to the side of Gosu Crew.
This is the 3rd time that Gosu Crew has set up here for Barn. 2 kills come in for OpTic Gaming, make it 3. They are not going to be able to get a hold here. When you commit so much to this hardpoint, Maven, and you throw so much of the game's life on the line to secure this hill, and you don't get it, you're going to end up losing these games.
As those kills come in, that should be the barn door closing on Gosu Crew. OpTic Gaming undefeated in their pool as the crowd lets them hear it. They continue to show why they are the best team in the game after the way they beat FaZe at ESWC, what they did to Envy, and now here with TGC, they remain. They just look unstoppable, man.
Yeah, I mean, TGC, they take that first hard point of OpTic Gaming, but man, that game 4 was all OpTic, a 250 to 160 victory.
And what was the difference? I mean, in the game 1, we were pointing out that Scump and Formal really weren't getting it going. They weren't playing very strong. It was the polar opposite in game 4 as they just destroyed. If you're new to Call of Duty and you haven't watched a lot, that streak from Scump was a treat.
Yeah, I think if you are Gosu Crew, like I was talking about, if you go to Barn early and you invest that much of the game's life into securing that hill, you do it 3 times. You get there early. All the times that hill pops up and you get broken instantly, you cannot let that happen.
Yeah, you talked about it throughout the entire game, and that's what's tough about this map, though. Like, you don't have you don't have easy money hills to hold. Like, is Barn one that you sort of can, but it's nothing when you compare to like some of the money hills on Scorch or on Retaliation or on Breakout. The flood from OpTic can work really at any time. They're just too talented to not be able, if they get 3 to 4 hits at a hard point, they're breaking it. When they're breaking it in the first 1 or 2, you're gonna lose the game.
And when you have a player like Scump who is so good at picking up that intro kill and then just snapping and locating that second player, he's going to be able to just open up these hills for the rest of the team.
Wow, what a performance we saw, and we'll now take a look at the stats here.
That, man.
Barn, it's what you talked about, Matt. The differential is insane.
Gosu crew had control of the spawns all 3 times that hill comes up. They only get 37 seconds on it the entire game. That is where the game's decided.
Well, we talked a lot about Karma and what he does for this team on the floor. We've got Jack with Karma.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yes, down on the floor at the main stage with OpTic Gaming's Karma. They take the series 3-1 and go undefeated in pool play. OpTic Gaming fans, you like what you're seeing? Well, there's a few of them here at the CWL Dallas Open. Again, one of the winningest players in Call of Duty. Karma, I gotta pick your mind. Let's start right away. You said immediately we came up here, they just had to take us off our map win streak, 23 maps in a row. You've been a part of some of the winningest teams in your career. What does an achievement like that show about the caliber of your team?
I mean, it just shows that we're really consistent. I think that's the biggest thing. I think a lot of people had questions whether you could be consistent in this game. And I mean, I think we've kind of proven that.
You most certainly did with 23 in a row. Now let's talk about that first map. Obviously, that didn't go your way. What wasn't working for you? What made it possible for Gosu crew to take that one?
Yeah, I think it was just them coming out hot. I mean, you beat Envy. I don't think it was really that close. It was pretty convincing. Yeah. So coming into that map, they were just, on a hot spree, beating everybody else in the pool, and I felt like I was just sprinting into people. So we just had to warm up that map, and if the S&D if they won the S&D, it could have been a little different, I think, maybe, I don't know. But after we won the S&D, 6-2, we were pretty confident they were going to win the series.
Well, you went on then to play another Hardpoint, this time around a little bit different. Formal and Skunk combined for something like positive 35 as a duo right there. What is it like when you have teammates putting up numbers like that?
It makes my job easier, because when all the kills are going down on the map, I can just be like, okay, I'm gonna go sit in a corner, wait for somebody, and I mean, when they're going off and we're just all playing like that, it's pretty hard for us to lose.
Final question for you here, Damon. Can anybody in the world beat OpTic Gaming in a best-of-5 right now?
The way we've been playing, not a chance.
Not a chance. The crowd loves it. Karma said it here. OpTic Gaming showing why they are atop of competitive Call of Duty. For now, we're gonna go to a break. When we come back, MLG Primetime. 1 versus 1 though, Karma versus Mad Cat. He's been seen. Karma should trace this one on down. Mad Cat is there, but Karma's got it.
I'm confident in 1v1 versus Octane. I think he lacks brains.
Why do you gotta ask me that question?
I know Krim is like a really aggressive player, so if I just read him and take my time on certain things, I could definitely catch him.
Crim 6.
I'm confident I'd beat in a 1v1 every time. Would have to be Joe. The guy's just straight trash, can only shoot you in the back.
I'm confident I can be Moach in a 1v1 anytime I see him on the map. It's just an instant challenge. It's just one of those things.
Aches. Yikes. Aches. I would be running around delusional confident, like ready to turn on them, like to gun them, like any situation, I'm winning that.
Don't get me wrong, the goals won numerous championships, but he's a bit delusional at the moment.
The guy's got no gun skill.
I think Silly is the one player that I know I will never lose it to.
Anyone on OpTic, because if I know I win it, I get a big following.
Oftentimes, if I'm in a 1v1 versus Ricky from C9, I pretty much know I'm going to win the round just because I know how Ricky plays so well. I've been playing against him for almost 10 years now, and so his S&D style has not changed at all. I know exactly where he's going to be, how fast he's going to be moving, what kind of approach he's going to take to the situation. So if I get in a 1v1 versus Ricky, I'm fully confident in him.